I honestly think it's perspective, really about everything, like not sweating the small stuff. I think that like just by nature and being creative and being a cake decorator, I am kind of a perfectionist, but there are some things worth sweating and other things that really aren't worth it.
Today, we are on our episode 20 of our Coffee Chat podcast, and we're excited, man. It's been a journey. We've learned a lot of stories of local coffee shops here in the Valley, and everybody has their story, man. Every mom and pop shop, every local business here is, they had to go through struggles. They had to overcome something. And this podcast is just a platform to hear those people out. And today we have Zach and Brittanie from Abbie Cakes. How are you guys doing?
Very good.
Very good. Thank you for having us.
Awesome. Yeah, we're glad to have you. First of all, we talked a little bit about this earlier, but what do you guys drink? What keeps you guys energized to own your shop?
Obviously coffee.
Yes.
Lots of coffee. It's going to sound picky, but I drink a sugar-free vanilla latte every day, either hot or cold.
Nice.
Either one for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Zach?
I'm an Americano guy now. I would say probably a year ago I was drinking our
Sweet.
The sweet drinks?
churro latte,
Yeah.
and I've just kind of cut it out since then. So I prefer an Americano at this
Yeah,
point.
you transition over.
Yeah.
I think you start, you're like, oh, these are cool. You start
Right,
experimenting.
they're fun.
And you ask for an Americano, and now you're like, oh, this sounds good.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of craving
Just
it.
refreshing
Yes,
caffeine
it's just like
coffee.
taste the coffee. So that's awesome.
And yours tastes very good.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you. I
very, very
appreciate
good.
it. Thank you. Where are you guys located for those who haven't visited you guys?
We are in Litchfield Park,
Yep.
West Valley.
Yeah, so if you guys around the area or if you're craving something sweet, something delicious, treats, man, they have the best treats that I've had. So we're really happy to have you guys. And for those who don't know your story, I don't know it completely.
Yeah.
How did this come about? Where does Abbie Cakes come from?
Well, Abbie Cakes is named after our daughter, Abbie. But basically, I started baking with my grandmother when I was very young. Christmas cookies were our thing.
Nice.
And then when I was about 19, my mom and I took a decorating class together at Michael's. And it just kind of took off from there. It was like, oh, I want to decorate this cake. I want to do this. I want to do that. But it was always kind of like a side thing for friends and family. And then I became a nurse. And actually, while I was at the hospital, I was taking a lot of orders from the other nurses for birthday cakes.
Wow.
And so the little, for fun hobby became a business. And then I was working full-time at the hospital and running a business full-time from home, doing custom cakes. And then a year ago, we decided to open the shop and go storefront.
I don't know, we just decided like, oh, let's do this, or
Yeah.
what made you take that jump?
I think we've been talking about it for a little bit, but
Maybe there was some hesitation too. So
yeah, leaving a full-time job for both of us.
and I would say part of that and what Brittanie has said, I just remember so many nights where she is like up till 2, 3 in the morning finishing some orders, and I'm like passed out on that kitchen island just trying to be support. But so I think at that point it was those nights that we realized, maybe we can get away from the 9 to 5s.
Yeah.
Nice. What made you, where did the name come from?
Abbie. We
Call
were
her
always
Abbie Cakes.
calling her Abbie Cakes, and so when we
Oh,
decided
really?
to
Before that?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So we decided to form the business. It just seemed right to name it Abbie Cakes, and she, back then and now, is still a big part of it. She's always in the kitchen, offering her opinion and her expert review of all of the desserts and the way things look. So it just seemed natural.
And no better way to have somebody who can come in line and take it over, right, than have their name on the business.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
It's only right.
Yeah.
You got to take over now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I love to see you guys working together. We have a family business as well, so
Yeah.
we get to see. It's like we're never away from each other. We're always there, and it's a great way to work and see each other and spend some good time. So
Absolutely.
That's good to see. What is your favorite thing about working at a sweet kitchen? What do you like the best?
Ooh. I think for me, it's being creative. Like, that's just kind of obviously like my jam. I like to create cakes and desserts. And so that's like the best part of it is like coming up with new flavors and recipes and designs and trying new things and experimenting and then see how our community reacts.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is good.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say for me, Brittanie spends most of her time in the back in the kitchen, but I'm out front, right? I'm the first I'm the first mug everybody sees. So I'm about creating those relationships with the customers, giving that experience. I love that side of it. And then I just love, I think, being around family the whole time. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
It has its challenges.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And what has been one of the biggest struggles from opening, your business, going, public into a spot? Just one. I know there's a lot.
Yeah.
There sure are.
I think it's the balance, because before, even though it was a business from home, it wasn't like our only source of income. It wasn't both of our jobs. It was, I could choose to take orders or not. I could choose to be open. And so I think going into it, I mean, it really is like your baby. It's like your child, and it is your full-time venture all of the time. There's nobody really to turn to. Everything falls on you. So I think finding the balance between running your own business and also keeping sane.
Being parents.
Being a parent, being
all of it. Yeah.
Being a present family member, being present in a relationship while running a business. It's a lot. The balance.
Yes.
The ever elusive balance.
For sure. Yeah. And like for us, my dad's super big on balance. So he's always like, we need to take a break. We need to leave. We need to find somewhere so we can refresh. So,
that's awesome.
How do you guys find that time to balance and get away from the shop? How do you manage to do that when it's so, everybody's pulling you from every direction?
Yeah.
How do you try to find that balance?
Yeah. I feel like for us two, and you guys can relate, just being around each other all the time, you can see when somebody's not having the best day. You're there to pick them up. You're there to, you're already thinking about, hey, maybe we need to go out tonight. Right? Or, even though it's 2020, there's that going on. But you can go home and I don't know, just try to be present with each other still. Enjoy each other's company. I don't know, what would you say?
I think support too, and just like we can't take a trip. We can't go away for a week. We're not at that point yet, but it's finding just small moments, I think, with each other, with Abbie, with our family, and making the most of them. I think perspective is huge. And so when I see people traveling and doing things, of course, I'm like, well, I would love to go do that. But for us, I think a few small moments or a couple of hours in the evening where there's no phone, there's no email, there's no Abbie Cakes talk, there's no shop talk, and it's just us, like that is enough to like reset and recharge.
Yeah, how important is, I know it's not for every business, but I know you guys close on Mondays, right? And that's one of the days where you guys can refresh. And how important is that Monday for you guys?
It's huge, honestly.
Yeah, I'd say for me, it's more of a refresher than it is for her.
Yeah.
She does spend quite a bit of those Mondays still down there in the trenches. I spend a lot of my time, I'd say, with Abbie on those Mondays.
But I feel like even something as mundane as grocery shopping or cooking a meal, like, is so refreshing. So even though I can't have the entire day to myself and to do those things, if I have a couple of hours where I can like cook with Abbie, or we can go to Sprouts and grab, some groceries, like, it
Those
feels good
things.
to do something normal, I think it's super important. Even if it's just a little bit of time.
Exactly, I think just spending a time away from the business and just to get your mind in other things so you won't go crazy is so important. And you guys just celebrated a year. Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
It's a great accomplishment. And during COVID-19, like, that's another thing.
That was scary.
That was tough. How do you guys manage to keep on going through this season?
Well, I want to preface it with, it was scary. Like, there was like a week when everything got shut down where I looked at my nursing license and I'm like, let me make sure it's still active. I might have to go help.
Wow.
The shop might get closed. And then honestly, it was 100% opposite of that. We got busier than we ever were.
That's crazy.
We stopped all of our custom cakes, obviously, because there were no weddings, no celebrations, but the shop got really busy and it was kind of cool. People would come in, obviously, limited amount of people in the shop and social distancing, but they would say, we can only go out once a day. And so we're coming to get something sweet and I want to make my kids happy and I want to see them smile. So we're bringing them a sweet treat.
That's so
good. It was really cool. The community supported us and we felt like we were supporting them too and bringing a little bit of joy and sweetness to them.
Taking a step back, not looking at everything on a day-to-day basis because that will drive you insane. It's been key.
Yeah.
We were just talking about like trying to figure out why sometimes we get slow.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not worth trying to figure out.
We're here like maybe it's the weather, maybe it's the fair, maybe it's
the fair.
I don't know. Like they were saying, like football season, like
it's a full moon.
Yeah.
On Sunday we were like, oh yeah, for sure it's football.
Darn
sure.
football.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's you just never know as a business. Like you have good days, you might have some slow seasons.
Yeah.
Like I was just looking at the calendar from last year, and we're like writing notes down. Like this was a really slow week, so like how can we, you know, make that week a little busier this year? So you really don't know.
Yeah,
you know, you can't really control like the traffic. It's so hard, but
hopefully balance comes
true.
like
for
everything
sure.
else.
Yeah. How has social media? You know, because I know a lot of people, you have a lot of followers, I think like 8,000 or something like that.
Yes, we're so close to 10, so we can use a swipe up.
Yeah, so in case you haven't followed Abbie Cakes, go ahead and follow them.
Yes,
They have
you.
a lot of good content. You just want to like scratch and smell it because it looks so delicious. Like want to lick your phone.
Oh gosh.
But how important is social media for your business?
It's huge. Oh my gosh. I remember like when we first opened, someone came in and we're like, oh, how'd you hear about us? They're like, oh, a hashtag on Instagram. And I'm like, oh my God, those work.
Wow.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
But it's huge. We have people all of the time that come in and say, we've been following you for a long time and we really wanted to come in. So it's huge. But it's also a full-time job, as you know, I'm sure.
Yeah, you guys post a lot, so it's like I feel like I'm there in the kitchen because you guys are like making the cakes and like you're showing everything, which I love. Do you guys get orders from Instagram as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that DM us asking about how to go about like ordering a cake, and so it converts to an email and then hopefully a client.
Nice.
And,
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
How often are you guys there? Like, what's your schedule looking like right now? It's been a year since you opened. Are you guys always baking in the back, or how involved are you guys?
I think 100% still involved.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a little more than before. We've been able to like step away and come do an interview and hang out with you guys, which maybe 6 months ago wouldn't be the case. But I think we're still pretty much always there. Yeah. And so as we go into like busier seasons, wedding season, holidays, there might not be any days off.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah, I remember looking at just when we started. I mean, we'd open for 6-7 years already, but literally like the first 2 years, it was just like living on the shop. Like that was our first home, and you know, looking back, it was something beautiful because, you know, we spent time together all the time, like laughing and like on our slow times, we were just sit back and just like crack jokes. And so
because family, you're with family.
Exactly. So, you know, does that get a little complicated sometimes? I know everybody always asking us like, oh, you know, is it hard working with family? What's been your experience?
I mean, I feel like, yes, maybe there can be a little bit of challenges because they are your family members, and I don't know, honestly, more than anything, I think it's been a blessing because nobody roots for you more than your family.
Yeah.
And I think every single family member of ours has our best interest at heart. And so the ones that work with us, man, they give everything they got because they want us to succeed. They want the shop to succeed. And so I feel like they're really creative. They're giving everything they have because they're really invested in us because they're family.
Yeah. How many people are working? Do you have other family members?
So us, my mom and my nonna and Abbie.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Family.
But everybody feels like family.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're still like a really small team. And so everybody that's on our team seems like family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So what for those who have never been, you know, to Abbie Cakes, can you explain the menu? You know, if somebody's listening, they're kind of hungry right now. What would you say you sell?
A lot of things. I think the one nice thing about us and different than some other places is that we have a rotating menu. So instead of having like a menu that's up on the wall that says we have, you know, this flavor and that flavor, we write on the board each day and we rotate our flavors. So of course there's a lot of staples like cake slices and cupcakes and banana bread and pumpkin bread, but we try to rotate flavors every single day. Because that's fun for everybody, but also for us too, and it keeps us on our toes and keeps things fun in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So we do have obviously tons of sweet stuff, but we also have some savory stuff too, like quiche and keto-friendly biscuits, avocado toast on the weekends.
Same shit.
Cinnamon rolls every day. Cinnamon rolls and macarons. That's like all the rage right now.
Yeah. Where do you get these ideas from? Like, what's your inspiration for? You're always rotating. Like for us, I mean, we have 1 or 2 drinks per season, and that's like already enough for us. Like we find it hard to like recipes and trying to have everybody together.
Yeah.
Where do you manage to get like all these ideas?
I think from each other, like bouncing ideas, but also for us, like the holidays are huge. So like whatever the season is, we can really pull a lot of inspiration from whatever, time of year it is.
Yeah.
So summer, obviously things like light and refreshing, but going into the fall, pumpkin everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know there has to be some of the things that are like the least fun things to make. Like for us, the green smoothie, like we have to put spinach, like we have to walk to the other. Like, what's one of the hardest things to make there?
You would say probably macarons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I love them. It's really crazy because when we were talking about it earlier, he's like, are you going to say they're your favorite and they're your least favorite? And I'm like, yeah, because they are.
Yeah.
They're my favorite because when it's all said and done, they're amazing. They're the cutest little things. You can be super creative, and it's so incredible that something so small can have so much flavor.
Yeah.
But they're such a labor of love, and every day I'm like, wow, how did this come out different today? I've been doing it every single day for the last year, and today it's still different.
How many do you guys make? Like I see you do like just like a whole bunch of like pans and pots of, I don't know.
It depends. I don't know. A week? 500 maybe?
Wow.
Which our goal for 2020 was to make a lot more than that, but
yeah,
it's a lot of work.
They are.
And so when it's Mac time too, Zach doesn't bother me. He's like, I can't go in the kitchen. It's Mac time. The meringue is going, and leave her alone.
Yeah, because I am always in there bothering her, of course.
Yeah.
But I'd have to agree with you. Smoothies sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, smoothies are kind of
a lot of things to put on there. And
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and the blender, and they gotta clean it. And just, yeah.
I feel you. So, starting a business, a lot of things happen. A lot of unexpected things happen.
Sure.
What has been one of the biggest lessons you've learned from starting your own business?
I honestly think it's perspective, really about everything, like not sweating the small stuff. I think that like just by nature and being creative and being a cake decorator, I am kind of a perfectionist, but there are some things worth sweating and other things that really aren't worth it, and really your approach to everything.
I would say what's been a challenge and starts from day one is building the culture that you want for your business.
Sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
That doesn't ever really stop. It's such a process as employees come and go. And if you're not present, you have to be present. You have to be present, continue to build that culture.
But it's also not something that you think about until you start a business. Like, when you work for an organization or, something corporate, like, of course the culture is there, the expectation is there, but you never really think about you having to create your own culture. Like,
that's a great point.
We know our brand and we know us because we've been doing it for a long time from home, but like translating that into an environment
it's a
for
challenge.
Clients, but also for employees, it's different. It's a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
But also a great experience, like a learning experience. We're learning every day, and I think becoming better leaders.
Yeah.
It's a work in process, though.
Yeah. I mean, we've tried so many things here to keep our staff, motivated, excited. Like we'll bring a pizza.
Yes.
Little details that you give them, and it makes a huge difference.
For sure.
And it's like you said, it's something that we're constantly trying to see what can we do better. How can we train them? And we're getting to a point where, like, thankfully we have a lot more employees. We want to go pick up some name tags right now. I'm like, I don't know these people. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
It's so sad. I'm like, oh man, like, is it getting to the point where like I'm not gonna know these people?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like those, what is it called, growing pains, where you're gonna have to see some people you're not gonna know as much, and we train somebody, you work so hard, and then they leave, they have to go, and it's
hurts.
yes, but how can we keep on continuing?
Yes.
Staying strong, staying passionate, staying connected. And something that's worked for us, it's not just even the little treats, but it's giving them the best equipment, giving them the best environment, somewhere where they can become exactly. That's we've seen that's been the most helpful thing, rather than just like always trying to bring donuts and bring pizza.
Right.
So it's like just giving them a good place where they can do what they like or do what they're doing and are comfortable and not have to struggle or not have a bad environment. But I'm glad you guys brought that point, because culture is, you don't see it till you're actually there. You're like, wow, it's a lot of work. So
they each bring stuff to the table, which is so cool. Feedback from them is huge
for sure.
Because just having different sets of eyes on something like that.
Yep. I feel like all day long, especially in the kitchen as we're like creating things, I'm like, how does this look? How does this taste?
Yeah.
Is this color right? Like, you know, it's not really us saying, go do this. It's like all of us working together and be like, does this work? Does this flavor work? You know, does this design work?
Yeah.
And so I think that's huge too, is like, it's a team
Getting them
environment
involved.
and not like a boss employee environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. No, I think that's so important. Involving our employees, you know, like we have had other people who said, you know, we ask them for ideas on recipes. They bring sometimes their recipes, and sometimes they're in there, sometimes doing more things than we are, and you know, with the staff.
Creating.
So it's a lot of things that they can bring into the table as well.
For sure.
And you know, we see a lot of employees that were like, wow, this person's really great. You know, how can we get more of these people? So I can see why you're saying like everybody has something that they bring into the table, and it's getting that culture set so you can bring more people, more of those people, and duplicate them. So
yeah, absolutely.
it's interesting to see how that works. What's the future for Abbie Cakes? What are the goals? You know, you guys want to expand? You know, it's been a year. So what are your thoughts?
I think we've thought about it, but I would say our focus right now is like the next couple of months. Really like going into wedding season for us, which we thought was going to be slow because of COVID, but it's not. And then holidays.
Nice.
Yeah.
And probably very soon we're going to launch online ordering and in-house delivery.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
we're
good.
super excited. We've honestly been working on it since February, March, like right when COVID happened. Every night we're going home from the shop and working on the website. So I think we're ready.
That's a great idea.
I think we should have been ready a few months ago, but
you know, taking the leap and like, okay, this is the new part of the business. Yeah.
For sure. You have to get everything right because at the end. But you're never ready.
right.
Right. Oh,
So,
for anything. Really.
Yeah. So you have to
Good to
just
have
go
that
for
reminder.
it. Exactly. Well, I'm super excited to have you guys here. Thank you guys so much for coming and sharing your story.
Thank you for your time.
You guys are great friends, you know, here in the west side. If you guys haven't visit Abbie Cakes, if you guys getting married soon, they have amazing cakes, and I'm just so happy for you guys.
Thank
you. Wish you guys the best. We're cheering for you guys. We're here. You know, we know the struggle is real, especially nowadays. So I'm so happy you guys managed to stay alive through this whole whole COVID-19.
We're grateful for our friendship. You know how much we love you guys. It's like our Monday thing. It's ordering
Yes.
colados delivered to our house.
Yes,
So yes, we appreciate you guys so much.
Oh, thank you guys. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, subscribe and like and share this to anybody that you know who is maybe starting a business, who has a business, so they can hear these amazing stories. And check out Abbie Cakes, open from Tuesday through Sunday.
Yes.
Right?
Nailed it.
What hours?
Not on Mondays.
Not on Mondays.
Tuesday through Friday is 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Nice. Well, there you go. Go get yourself something sweet, some bomb treats. You guys have it savory as well.
Yes.
So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week on the next episode. Hasta la vista.
Thank you.
Thank you.